everybody, it is the Lawn Gnome, and welcome to your August 2018 Funko Pop update. And not only is this my birthday month, but there is something very big that we have to celebrate today. Today is the 50th episode of my Funko Pop update series. Can you believe that we've been doing 50 episodes of collection building and coming attractions and all of the con exclusive mumbo jumbo that we deal with on a regular basis, trying to make sure that our wallets don't strangle us? Quite impressive how amazing Funko has been over the past couple of years, and how you, the community, has been amazing as well. So of course we're going to be continuing the Summer of Nostalgia, as well as taking a look at all of the Funko Pop news. I am so happy to say that San Diego Comic-Con is behind us, but I'm even happier to say that I got every single San Diego Comic-Con exclusive that I wanted to add to my collection, even the one that I thought I was never going to get because it was going to show up on the Funko pop-up shop, but holy cow, there are way too many people that I have to thank, from Nerd Therapy to PopVinyls.com to Pop Curated to some of my friends, including Julit's Nerdy Obsessions and Zach Pope. I mean, everyone in this community has been phenomenal, just networking and talking and to make sure that every single one of us as Funko Pop faithful will get what we want. So, there's a great deal to cover today. I wish it would be less, but you know something? It's a summer thing, and summer always means bigger and better. So before we get into all the awesome Funko Pop news, let's take a look at how my collection has been growing as we conclude, because let's face it, August is the last month of the Summer of Nostalgia. So for the final piece of the Summer of Nostalgia, I wanted to capture one of my favorite things, and that is vintage cartoon characters. If there's one thing that was a massive part of my childhood, it was being able to watch syndicated episodes of some of the greatest cartoons of all time, and even when cable came around with channels like Cartoon Network, I was able to finally see a couple of shows that I never even saw in my life when it came to cartoons from the 60s and 70s and even the 80s. But there are a couple of them that are now officially in pop form, and there are certain ones that I just couldn't walk away from. So I am very happy to discuss these specific pops with you guys today. So the first ones that we're going to look at is the great duo of Moose and Squirrel, Rocky and Bullwinkle. We're going to go over these guys first because of the fact that these guys are some really old pops. You can tell the details are not as great as some of the pops that have come out recently, but I let these guys go. I didn't want them at the beginning, but then when my wife and I went to Florida, and we went to Islands of Adventure, and I went to all those retro cartoon locations, and I saw Rocky and Bullwinkle somewhere, I was like, you know what? I gotta get my hands on these pops, because I loved the Rocky and Bullwinkle show. I watched the reruns, I rented the VHS cassettes, I had to get these guys. So, I was lucky to actually find them on eBay for an individual price for each, very decent. So, I went and I finally got these two pops, and I love the details. I'm not too thrilled about the Rocky because of the fact that he has some very weird things going on with his legs. You basically have to turn his face to the right, or to the side or whatever, to have him balance on his tail. But as you can see, he's got his hands spread out on his very skinny body, he's got a huge smile on his face, and the details on his cap are pretty cool too. Also with Bullwinkle, I love the fact that he's got a lot of really cool details, especially the Watsumaru sweater that he's wearing. I love the little bumps on his knees, because that was also from the cartoon. I love that they had his nostrils in the same neutral color, because that's exactly what happened in the cartoon, and I love the detail on the spikes coming out of the hair on his head. Very, very cool. And all around, he's a very, very cool pop. And I also like, if you take a good look at the backside, you see the little lines there to show the hair that he has on his body. So it's a really cute pop. I do like them both very, very much. But now let's go a little further back in time and see an even more classic cartoon. One of the first cartoons ever made, the legendary Popeye the Sailor Man. Now, when I was a very little kid, like 2 or 3 or 4 years old, I was watching Popeye reruns, and I always loved when he would eat his spinach, even though I never liked spinach. But I do like raw spinach now, so we've actually evolved ourselves. But this was one of the recent specialty series pops only found at comic book and hobby shops, and this pop is one of the most beautifully detailed pops that I have ever seen, and everything is near perfect on my specific one that I got. I love the details on his shirt. The painting is absolutely almost flawless. I love the details on the spinach can. I love the little anchor tattoos on both of his big biceps. And I love the little buttons on the back of the shirt as well as the details on the hat. But I think the best part about this pop is the details on the face. The wrinkles, the winking eye, the stiff upper lips, as well as the pipe sticking out in the corner of his mouth, even the two little hairs coming down from his cap. They just did a phenomenal job with this specific pop, and as a fan of Popeye when I was growing up, it was very hard for me to say no to this one. But now I'm going to start gushing a little bit because, guys, do you know how long I've been waiting for these characters to finally become Pops? Brian Mariotti, being the big Hanna-Barbera fan that he is, I was wondering what the hell was taking them so long to finally make the greatest space-age family ahead of its time, the Jetsons. Well, we don't have the entire family yet. We only have 3, but believe me, when they announced that they were coming in Toy Fair earlier this year, I was so excited. So, we've got George, we've got Astro, and of course we've got Rosie. So let's take a look at Rosie first, because there was actually a multicolored 3-pack that came out recently, a few years back, at one of the Comic-Cons, and now we officially got the regular one. And I love the color. I think they got the color of her perfectly, and I love the fact that on the side she's got darker shades of blue to show us the shading, which is exactly what they did on the cartoon. I love the bow in the back. I love the detail of the little red ears on the sides of her head, and I just love the facial expression because it's exactly what Rosie looked like. I love everything about Rosie, and I'm so happy that she's one of the Pops in my collection. Now let's take a look at George's favorite canine best friend, Astro, voiced brilliantly, of course, by the late Don Messick. I was very curious how they were going to make Astro. I didn't know if they were going to have him walking on all fours. I don't know if they were going to have him standing up on his 2 legs, which he did. But I love the fact that he's got his tongue sticking out. I love the droopy eye expression. Like, I can just look at him and I can hear him saying, "I love you, George," at the top of his lungs. And I also love the wagging tail, and I love the details on his green collar. Although I have to admit, it's weird seeing this little line going across his whole lower part of his face, because it sort of takes away a little bit from the pop. But the Pops of him everywhere have the exact same issue. But even with a couple of issues like that and a few scuffs there, it is still one of the better Pops that I have seen. But now let's go into the greatest cartoon father of all time, in my opinion. That, of course, is George Jetson. I love everything about this Pop. First and foremost, I'm so thankful that they gave him a mouth. I'm surprised that they made his head as fat as they did. I thought maybe they could make it a little bit skinnier, but I just love this Pop through and through. I love the details on the back of his head, especially considering the fact that they got that little curl on the back of his head, which is exactly what they have in the cartoon. That just shows you how far they go in terms of getting everything right. And I love the way his pose is. I love the details on the pants, as well as the green belt, and the little black circles around the tops of his shoes, and even his shoes are fantastic. He really is a beautifully designed Pop. They did a great job with him, as well as all of these great classic cartoon characters. I am just hoping that the rest of the Jetsons family will be made, as well as Mr. Spacely, although I have a feeling that we may end up seeing them as limited pieces at future cons. I really hope that that is not the case, because as a Jetsons fan, I really want to get my hands on the rest of that family. But that wraps up the Summer of Nostalgia, everybody. I appreciate the fact that you guys watched all this, and now let's take a look at all the exciting news. So we've got some Funko store items to talk to you guys about. There's no specialty series this month. As a matter of fact, there was a specialty series item, but it was not a Funko Pop. So we did have some very interesting things come down to us at the Funko shop. One was a 4-piece set of Dino in multicolors, and this actually sold out instantaneously. I did not know that Dino was so popular, but a couple of days later, there was a 3-pack chrome set of Wonder Woman in gold, red, and blue, and that sold out pretty much in the first day as well. So these were things that I really wasn't interested in, but I am quite impressed with some of the Funko items that show up on the Funko shop for these special days every single Wednesday. I think this is probably one of the most amazingly and yet the most bizarre pieces of Funko news that I have to talk about today. And that is the fact that Funko is going into the breakfast cereal business. I know for a solid fact that when I watched the Making Fun documentary, they mentioned that the original founder, Mike Becker, as well as the current CEO, Brian Mariotti, are massive Saturday morning cartoon and breakfast cereal fans. So they said, let's make a series of breakfast cereals, and let's include a little pop in each box, sort of like the classic nostalgic kiddie cereals with a prize inside. Now, I think that there are a couple of things that I don't understand. First of all, I don't understand why they don't give us an understanding of what these cereals taste like. Are they planning on having people eat it, or are they just planning on having people collect it? Also, the fact that these are very expensive, the fact that people are buying 2 boxes of these, one for collecting and one for eating, part of me thinks that that's a little bit on the unsanitary side. I'm just giving you guys my thoughts. I am not planning to buy these. And also, just so you guys know, Wave 2 was already announced, but we're going to go through that in another pop update. And there are even exclusive boxes. Entertainment Earth, Hot Topic, GameStop, you can get these at various places. So definitely go on to the Funko shop and get the details there. The WWE did this a couple of years back with their newest video game, and they offered a Hollywood Hogan pop. And they're doing this again with the WW 2K19 Woo Edition with a special edition pop of the legendary Ric Flair. Also, the collector boxes that were originally subscription boxes have officially been finding new homes in the past couple of months. Some are officially decided, and some are now officially either up in the air or possible rumors. As of now, I know that Hot Topic has the Disney Treasure box, and Amazon.com has the Marvel Collector Core box. And there's a very good chance, right now, they're only rumors and speculation, but it looks like GameStop is going to be getting the Star Wars Smuggler's Bounty box. I believe their last box that you can subscribe to is going to be their September box. And the rumor is that Target may have the Legion of Collectors for DC. And the thing that I'm hoping for is that that's true, because there was something floating around in the Twitterverse saying that the next DC Legion of Collectors box is 1966 Batman. So you know me, I would totally get my hands on that box, but we will find out as the days tick on. Hopefully we'll get a better understanding of what's going on with the DC Legion of Collectors. So in regards to those boxes, we did get some new pops. We got in the last Disney Treasures box a movie moment from The Little Mermaid called Finding Your Voice. It was from Hot Topic, and it looks absolutely cool. I love the details on the water, on the rock, and I sort of was not used to Ariel having the mouth, but now it's sort of does look great, and I love the way the hair is flowing. I know a lot of people who bought this box and they love this pop to death, and I'm so glad to know that these subscription boxes are living on through other means. And the Star Wars Smuggler's Bounty box was a very interesting one. It was the Revenge of the Sith, and we got a movie moment too, and it was called The Duel on Mustafar, which was the second Anakin Skywalker pop that was officially given to us in the prequel version, and the second Obi-Wan from the prequels. And of course, it's the two of them in that legendary duel on Mustafar over the lava. And at one point I was thinking about buying this one on eBay, but the more I looked at it, the more I decided, you know something, I don't necessarily need to have this one, especially because I just felt that it looked good, but it didn't look great. But it's still a wonderful pop, it's a great movie moment, and personally I think maybe I'll just keep my fingers crossed for a Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul movie moment, because that's the one that I will add to my collection, because I do feel that at some point in time, my pop collection does deserve a Star Wars movie moment. And probably the best of all of the subscription boxes was the new Marvel Collector Core, which was of course offered on Amazon, and it was Deadpool, and the pop was Deadpool on the unicorn. I think that this is something that everybody has been wanting. Even though we didn't see this in the Deadpool movie, there were so many memes and pictures that were drawn of Deadpool on a unicorn. So the fact that we officially got a Funko Pop giving us this exact image, it's just putting smiles on faces across the globe, and I think the details are beautiful, and also the unicorn is pretty darn adorable. So also, let's take a look at a couple of additional things from San Diego Comic-Con that we didn't get a chance to talk about because we got some last-minute interesting surprises, and some that I didn't even know were exclusives to the con, but some of them will be offered in retail. One of them was a PX Previews exclusive, which was a double pack of a glow-in-the-dark Black Bolt and a Vanishing Lockjaw. There are also some exclusives that were offered from Bait, which included a gold and black Alpha 5, as well as two new Bruce Lee pops, one of him in white trunks and one of him that is completely gold chrome. Also, there was a Blizzard exclusive from Overwatch of Roadhog and Junkrat. Of course, a lot of people love Overwatch, and it's a beautiful double pack. And there was also not a con exclusive, but a first release in the con, meaning that the first couple of pops are introduced at the con exclusively, but then it will go into retail, and it's the Doctor Who pop that I think so many people were waiting for. It's the 13th Doctor, the first female Doctor Who. You were able to get her at the con, but she will be officially a regular in retail very soon. But the biggest surprise that was dropped, because a lot of people were curious, where's the Walking Dead pops? They always give us Walking Dead pops. Well, at the 0 hour, they announced Shiva the Tiger, and it basically sold out in a matter of seconds. So I don't know if anybody managed to get them, but if you did get Shiva, congratulations. And there were so many other things that were introduced to us thanks to Funko Fun Days and the Box of Fun. There were so many different Chrome Freddies, as well as some other cool designs like glow-in-the-dark ones, 8-bit ones. There were also a Pennywise version of Freddy Funko, as well as some Stranger Things versions of Freddy Funko, and so many other amazing things, including the first Pez dispensers, because just in case you didn't know, Funko did get the rights to Pez, so they're making Funko Pop versions of Pez dispensers, which is pretty awesome. But I think the biggest thing that people were adoring from the Box of Fun and Funko Fun Days was the two new Stranger Things pops, which are Robin and Steve in the sailor outfits, because Stranger Things Season 3 is in the works, and it is featuring a brand new mall opening up in Hawkins, and Steve gets a summer job as an ice cream scooper, and Robin is the girl that he's apparently going to be working with. So these were limited pieces, so if you did manage to get these, congratulations. These are running for a real pretty penny, and I think a lot of people are upset over the fact that these were only con exclusives and were not going to end up being in the actual Season 3 Stranger Things wave. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe we'll get them. And the ad icons are finally expanding again, and we've got a lot of interesting ones. There was a Funko Shop exclusive of Cosmic Captain Crunch, which sold out instantaneously, but there's going to be some other great icons coming, like Twinkie the Kid, along with a chase of Twinkie the Kid. Also, these are going to be Target exclusives, the Noid from Domino's Pizza and Bazooka Joe, and I never heard of this restaurant called Jollibee. Apparently, it is a Philippines restaurant that is extremely popular, and it's the 30th anniversary of the chain opening, so you can only get this in the Pop Asia line, which is the Jollibee mascot. And the funny thing was, I actually found out that there is a Jollibee restaurant in New York City on 8th Avenue. I was like, oh my god, there's actually a Jollibee here. So at this point in time, Jollibee is not available in the United States. So who knows when we will get Jollibee. But I figure if they have a Jollibee in New York City, then this pop has to get here eventually. So it's really nice to see the ad icons expanding. And of course, there are a couple of additional exclusives, including Hot Topic FYE, Barnes & Noble, and Box Lunch, as well as Fanatics, which is a new NFL pop. It is Ezekiel Elliott in the throwback Cowboys jersey, but we've got some very interesting ones. We finally got a good picture of the Weird Al Yankovic limited edition version of him from the Fat video, and I think a lot of people are excited for the Stevani pop from Hot Topic, but these are some of your exclusives, so you know where to get them now, so hopefully you will. And the Rock line is expanding again with the Boys of Summer. We've got Mark Hoppus and Travis Barker from the legendary punk band Blink-182. Part of me is a little upset over the fact that they didn't go out of their way to make a Tom DeLonge, because I really think that they should, because even though he is not with the band, to get the original lineup would be wonderful, even though that technically is not the original lineup, but when they were at their peak, they were a great three-piece band, and I think it would have been great to have all three of them in pop form, but hey, listen, Blink-182 fans, if you want them, go out and get them. And we've got a new comic book moment coming out, which will be exclusive to GameStop, and it is one that I was hearing about. I was thinking about getting it, but I wanted to see it, and it is based on the Batman Hush storyline. It is also done by Jim Lee, who is a legendary comic book artist, and it is Deluxe Batman on a gargoyle. Now, I think it's awesome, but I don't want it. But it is really nice to know that we've got a great Batman pop, even though we already have plenty of them. But give me the expansion of the animated series or another expansion of the 66 line. But this is pretty cool. I think people are going to go for it. And we've got some more pops coming into the Spider-Man video games. So we've got a new set of 4, including some very interesting fan favorites, like Spider-Man with his mask off, and of course a Miles Morales in regular clothes, but also an interesting Spider-Man villain called Mr. Negatives. I think these are definitely going to sell. And they are also celebrating the 30th anniversary of the creation of the character Venom, with Venomized Marvel characters, including Venom himself and, of course, Carnage. Now, this is also because of the fact that the movie is coming out very soon, and I'm sure that there's going to be pops for the movie line itself, but we've definitely got some interesting creations here, including a version of Venomized Captain America, Iron Man, and the Hulk, which definitely look pretty cool, and I am quite surprised that this line got exclusives. And you can get a Venomized version of Loki from Target, which looks great, a Walmart exclusive of Venomized Ghost Rider, as well as a GameStop exclusive of a Venomized Black Panther, and an FYE version of Carnage with the full-on symbiote over his head, and his hands looking like 2 massive blades. Pretty darn cool. I think that one really shouldn't have been the exclusive, but rather that one should have been the regular, but I am not really interested in any of these, but I wouldn't be surprised if people got them. And of course, we got more Ant-Man and the Wasp. I am quite surprised that out of all the Marvel movies, the Ant-Man line always manages to expand. We finally got a great glam shot of the Walmart exclusive of the Invisible Ghost, but we also have Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne in their helmets, as well as a Hot Topic exclusive of an unmasked Hank Pym, and a Target exclusive of an unmasked Janet Van Dyne. And celebrating the 10th anniversary of the MCU, they are giving us gold Marvel characters from all areas of the MCU. There's going to be a box lunch exclusive of Star-Lord, but you can get all your favorites, from Iron Man to Baby Groot to Black Panther. They're all coming. Luckily, a good chunk of these are going to be regulars, but there's definitely going to be some more exclusives coming very, very soon, especially considering the fact that Funko's Twitter page has always been having polls asking the fans who we would like to see from the MCU get a gold chrome treatment. Let's go into the world of anime, because this was the announcement that shook the Funko Pop world. No, it's not the new Goku from the Dragon Ball Super line. Rather, it is the Target exclusive of Pikachu! Pokemon are officially coming to pop form, and Pikachu is officially in retail. Target is probably one of the hardest places to obtain exclusive pops, but he is there now, so go out and get him. I was thinking about getting Pikachu, even my wife agreed with me, but when I see it up close, I'm like, you know what, it's very cute, but I don't need it, so I'm going to avoid this madness. But don't be surprised if there's going to be more Pokemon down the line, and especially at the San Diego Comic-Con, Brian Mariotti and Mike Hecker told all the fans to hound Nintendo to force them to give Funko rights for more video game characters. I will definitely go on board that train. And some cartoon iconic characters. We've got Tom and Jerry. Finally! These guys apparently were massively requested by the Funko fans, and we've got so many great versions of them, including 2 Target exclusives, which I love, of them each holding an explosive device, as well as a flocked 2-pack, which will be at the Funko store of the both of them, and even the regular ones are really, really cute. And we've got an expansion of the Nightmare Before Christmas. We've got very different, interesting versions of characters, including a Snowman Jack and an Oogie Boogie outside of his sack. But we've got probably one of the most interesting looking pops, and it is Dr. Finkelstein, because of the fact that he has a hinge on the back of his head where you can actually flip up his head and look at his brain. That's exactly what he did in the movie. So that is such a creative idea. And I'm so impressed with Funko once again. This is why they're so popular, because they always manage to reinvent themselves, even with products that they already have. And in regards to stop motion, here was another highly requested line from the fans. Coraline, the Neil Gaiman short story, is finally getting a pop line, and you can get everything from various versions of Coraline to the other mother, as well as a chase of Coraline in the raincoat. The details look amazing, especially the Coraline doll with the button eyes. I'm definitely certain that these are going to sell. But probably one of the biggest announcements was Spirit, the Halloween store that is only open a couple of months for the year, is offering the Hocus Pocus line. You can get the Sanderson sisters, all three of them, Winifred, Sarah, and Mary. Fans of Hocus Pocus in my little circle on Twitter, who are Funko Pop collectors, lost their minds when they heard that this was happening. And my wife is a big Hocus Pocus fan, but she didn't really care much for the Pops, although I will not lie, I love the way they look, and I especially love the Winifred with the style of her lips and her teeth, but we're not going to get these. I still will admit that they are wonderful. I love the colors, the details are beautiful, but not really my biggest thing, so still really cool to know that they're coming. And in celebration of Christopher Robin, we've got Christopher Robin Pops. And I love the details on these, especially the box lunch exclusive flocked version of Pooh with the balloon tied around his wrist. I love the fact that they really look like little old dolls, and I just think it's such a nice little thing and nostalgic thing for Winnie the Pooh fans, especially those who want to go see this new movie. But if you want to talk about nostalgia, spin it, my friends. We've got the Tailspin line coming, and these look wonderful. And this also includes a chase of Louie, as well as a flocked version of Baloo at Target. And we've also got Kid Cloud Kicker, Rebecca, and Shere Khan. But I'm quite surprised with the fact that there's one specific character that is not here.
You have made Don Carnage, which is me, very unhappy.
Yeah, where is he? Where is Don Carnage? I have a strange feeling that he is going to end up being either a Funko Shop exclusive or quite possibly something that is showing up at the New York Comic Con. And I've already told my wife, even though I will be scaling back on some Pops very soon, if he looks great, I will seriously consider jumping in to get him. But for now, we've got these. These are not bad, so go get them if you want them. And the Gremlins line. The Gremlins were some of the first Pops that were given to us when Funko started making these lines, but it looks like we're finally getting a small expansion. We got the Flashing Gremlin, and we've got Greta from Gremlins 2. I'm not interested in these, but I'm pretty certain that people who already have Gizmo and Stripe will get their hands on these. But a line that I think a lot of people are excited for, especially 80s kids and fans of musicals, the Little Shop of Horrors line is coming, and they look wonderful. I think it is wonderful to finally have Rick Moranis in Pop form, because he is one of the greatest actors of the 1980s, but if I were to get him in any version of a Pop, it would have to be Wayne Szalinski's, but I don't think Honey, I Shrunk the Kids are coming soon. But you can also get a Target exclusive of Baby Audrey 2 in the coffee can, and I love the details on the coffee can, and you can even get a Chase version of Audrey 2 with blood-splattered lips. And the Friends line is expanding, and this is where the 700th Pop in the television line is showing up. We are getting some very interesting versions of these characters, and some of them that you know, especially if you watch the show, like Chandler with the Flock of Seagulls haircut, and Monica with the different hairstyles. We've got one regular of her in dreads, and we've also got her with extremely frizzy hair, which is a Chase, and there's also a Target exclusive of Monica with her with the turkey on her head, and so many other great versions of these characters. So, Friends fans, I'm pretty certain you're excited to expand your line. And we've got some new Pop rides. Hot Topic just released these brand new Pop rides. We know how popular Dean and Baby were from San Diego Comic-Con last year, but now we've got two versions of Sam and Baby, and you can get a regular Hot Topic exclusive with the beat-up Baby, or you can find the Silver Chrome Chase. But when you want to talk about Pop rides, I think that this is one of the biggest Pop rides that everybody had on their must-have list if they ever decided to make it. Michael Knight with Kit is finally coming. When I did my video of 10 Pop rides that I would like to see, this, I think, was number 2. And why shouldn't he be? I mean, when it comes to iconic television shows or movies with cars, this one shows up in your top 3. It doesn't light up, nor does it talk, but it is still an awesome Pop ride, and I think that David Hasselhoff as Michael Knight in this little Pop ride looks wonderful, not to mention the fact that it's the 50th 50th Pop ride. Congratulations, Funko. But when it comes to television, we are celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Power Rangers in style. Can you believe that it is the 25th anniversary of this franchise? So we are now getting the original 6 Power Rangers unmasked, and that includes Tommy. So you are going to get all of the 6 Power Rangers unmasked. I'm pretty certain that this is not going to be the end, because I am certain that we will probably see an unmasked Rocky, Aisha, and Adam, as well as a unmasked White Ranger somewhere down the line, and who knows about that. But along with the brand new set of heroes, we've finally got some Power Rangers villains, and we've got Rita Repulsa, Lord Zed, and Goldar, as well as 2 of the most iconic monsters that the Power Rangers faced, Pumpkin Rapper and Pudgy Pig, and those 2 are exclusively at GameStop, but we're not done. We've still got more! We've got a double pack from Box that is going to be at FYE, I believe, which is of Rita and Zed. There's also going to be 3 6-inch oversized pops, including a glow-in-the-dark Megazord from Entertainment Earth, a gold and black Megazord, which will be able to be gotten at the Power Rangers Con, I believe it is, and a Hot Topic exclusive of the Tiger Zord in robot form, as well as a Target exclusive 10-inch supersized pop of the Dino Ultra Zord, and that includes the Dragon Zord on it. Absolutely incredible. Power Rangers fans, I think you guys are getting spoiled at this point. But we got some very interesting news at Funko Fun Days. We got some announcements of certain new lines that are happening in the world of Funko, coming close to the end of this year and starting next year. And look at some of these lines. We've got Die Hard. We've got Married with Children. Finally, we got some screenshots. We got Austin Powers. And we've even got the Brady Bunch. And just so you guys know, they didn't include Jan, because it's all Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. But Funko just keeps surprising. Am I interested in some of these new lines? I would say the answer is yes, but I'm definitely not going to splurge. However, I just have to keep commending Funko every single time, because they just keep amazing me, as well as the rest of their faithful fans. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Thank you so much for 50 amazing episodes, and here's to another 50 more. I don't know how I'm gonna feel if I actually reach 100 Funko Pop updates, guys, because even though I am planning on making some changes to my channel in 2021, I specifically said that Funko Pop updates will stop when Funko stops making pops to update. So in the meantime, please put your comments in the box below. Tell me about your San Diego Comic-Con experience, if you went to the con, or if you were just hunting for pops, did you get everything that you want? If you haven't gotten everything that you want, let me know. I can do my very best to help you. I have been willing to help people via eBay, via any other popular way to actually get their hands on Funko Pops after things like Comic-Cons are over. So please let me know in the comments or DM me on Twitter. I'm always here to help. Thank you very much for watching as always, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.